Yo,
Yo.
you hear me all right? Yeah.
Yeah, man. How's it
Yo.
going?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Just gonna do like a quick little intro. It's not a lot really. It's just like first of all, yeah, anybody that's watching, I think we've got Chucky P in there. We've got Nathan in there as well. Yeah, both like if you've not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. Also, in the description to this video, I think I've put number 9 talks here as well. Hello, number 9 talk. In the description, I've put a link to Sab's channel as well, so go and subscribe to that. It's a great channel, man. He does lots of podcasts, lots of comedians on there. There's battle rappers on there. There's all kinds of people on there. So yeah, go show that channel some love as well. So yeah, like basically, how you doing, Sab? How's it going?
Good, man. I'm doing fucking fantastic. Thanks for having me on. I just went to your channel trying to find the video. This is on the second channel. But on the your original channel, you got me as a featured channel on there. And thanks
Yeah. I
I
featured
didn't
you
know
on
that
there, man.
today. I was like, yo, sick.
Yo, 100%. Honestly, man, you showed me love when I first started up with the channel and that. Back when I think I was Weekly Waste Man back then. It was a completely different name. It was who's this? Yeah, we've got number 9 talks here as well. So yeah, like hello to these guys. But yeah, it's great to have you on, man. So what you been up to during lockdown? How's it going? Are you even on lockdown over there?
Well, no, like Canada, it's like kind of like a partial thing right now where it's like, so restaurants and stuff like that are open, like comedy clubs I've been going to, not in Toronto, but like for like the small towns and stuff. So I live in Niagara Falls, St. Catharines area, Hamilton. They're still open, right? So I've been having actually lots of shows. Like I do one show every week at Showtime every Thursday.
Where you're actually performing at the show, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like half capacity. People have to wear masks when they're inside, and it's like you can take off the mask when you're at the table, and it's like when you're performing, you can take off the mask. So it's like all these like weird things. Some clubs have like plexiglass on the stage and shit that the comedians stand behind. I don't know what the fuck that does, I guess if you're spitting, it's just gonna go on the glass. But it's so weird because you're like staring at like yourself in a mirror, right? And you're just like, yeah. So it's like recently it's not been too bad, but like I think everything is gonna get shut down again soon. So I'm really happy that like people are actually giving me spots. Like I've been doing a lot of comedy, like
take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Take advantage. Over here it's like we're on lockdown again now. We're on full lockdown again. For like
I know about that. I just did a show actually earlier today with Anna Little. You might know her. It's like she's from London. So it's like a comedy frenzy. It's like an online show. You should try to get on it, bro. It's sick.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll have a look out for that. I've not heard of that. What's it called? Comic Frenzy?
No, it's like Friday Frenzy or something. I should look it up.
Oh, is it a Zoom comedy? Is that what it is?
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm with you. There's quite a lot of that going off at the minute. That Zoom. Yeah. Have you done any though? Have you done any comedy?
Yeah. I just did one today, and I've done one.
Oh, you was actually performing the one today.
So. Yeah, I went last too. It was a wild show. Like I didn't do that good. I was like super nervous. I started sweating like crazy. I was like dripping sweat. But.
Is it a weird feeling though to like doing it like because
so weird because like even like 1 or 2 people laughing is good on Zoom, you know what I mean? If you're in a comedy club, it's like you just feel the laughter so much more. It's like a whole different energy, the whole room, and you're not like staring at yourself. Like right now it's like I can see myself, same with the Zoom show, and it's like you're just like up there, and like when I go to comedy clubs, like I'll smoke a little, I'll drink a little, get relaxed. It's like when I'm at home, I'm not just gonna like do that by myself. It's like it's a whole different thing for sure.
I can imagine it would just feel like rehearsing to do it over Zoom, like because it's so different. I love that whole like getting the reaction when you're on the stage. Same with I think you've done battle rap as well, so you know that thing with the reactions. And moving on to comedy, there's no better feeling than something that you've wrote and people in the audience won't know how it feels for a comedian. Like it might just be a little one-liner, like to the audience, but to you, it's something that you've put like a week, 2, 3 weeks, a month into, and you've changed it around, and it means a lot to you. So when you go out and you get that reaction, it's a fucking great feeling, man. But just going back to a question there quickly. Obviously, I know the answer to it, but yeah, number 9 talks asking if you're from USA or Canada.
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't just assume you would say, oh, because I probably said Niagara Falls. Yeah, Canada. I'm from Canada, Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls, Canada.
To me, the accent's like I can tell the difference between a Canadian and American accent.
Well, like I live so close to the border, anyways, that it's like people from Buffalo. I don't know if you go over there and it sounds different. You know, it's like I can't hear it in like myself and like Americans. You know what I mean? I feel like it's so close that it's like the same. Like I feel like I sound like the people in Hollywood and shit, but then people say they can hear my accent, right? So it's like they pick up on things that I don't notice. Same with like most people, probably.
I think with the Canadian accent, you tend to like draw out the words a little bit more. That's where the difference is. American, you've got the same tinge to the accent. Is that the right word? But yeah, you draw out the word that little bit more, and as soon as I hear it, it's like, that's a Canadian. I can tell straight away. But like, what about to you guys with the English? Do we all sound the same? Like,
no, yeah, it's like there's differences. It's hard to say what they are exactly, but they all just sound different, obviously. Like the show I did today was actually really sick because it was there was a French lady, American, Canadian, English, and a Thai person. So it was super like diverse, yeah.
Real blend.
Yeah, and then it's like and sometimes you have like trouble like picking up certain words just because like they might say things differently or whatever. So like it is like almost harder to get the humor sometimes if it's like such like a different accent and different culture and stuff, you know. But I love that shit, man. I love like exploring and learning about all like different kinds of people and shit. And like that brings us up to what we're talking about is like conspiracies, man. People everywhere probably are always questioning shit, as you should be, because unfortunately not everybody's looking out for their your best interests, and most people aren't. They're looking out for themselves. So there's tons of
people taking advantage of
going on all the time, and especially once you end up with those like really high levels of power and money, it's like those people just are on a different level than us. You know, they're not even in our world. I don't know what they do, like or how they think and shit. But like, you got any like.
It's just a completely different world, isn't it? You know, when you've got everything, like what is life then when you've got everything? You know, I wouldn't want to be on that end of the scale where there's nothing to look forward to anymore. Because if you can just go and get it now, like eventually you get bored of that, wouldn't you? That's why all these elite, they go on to doing weird shit, like real weird shit, like because there's no excitement. They can't just go and do a bungee jump anymore. Or jump out of an aeroplane and get some excitement.
Yeah, because they've already done that 10 times or whatever, maybe, right?
Yeah, there's no excitement. Like, if they're going to jump out of an aeroplane now or do a bungee jump, they've got to do it whilst naked, tied to a shark or something like that in order for it to have any kind of excitement. So, yeah, what do you think of everything that's going on right now? Like, going into conspiracies, like, do you think this is, like, do you think the virus is real? Or do you think that it's 5G or what?
There's a real virus. Like, at least that's like. So I constantly say, like, I live kind of by the way, like this thing Socrates says. I'm not sure if I'm saying it exactly right, but it's like true knowledge is knowing that you know nothing. So I'll never say something is like completely impossible because I don't really know for sure that any of this is even real, right? Like. I just know that like it all seems real, it seems like I'm talking to you through a computer right now, which is crazy, and like staring myself in like the face in a mirror. But back to the whole coronavirus thing, I don't think that like the virus is fake, you know what I mean? And you wouldn't have to fake a virus, would you? It's like
depends on the reasons,
and then like what are these people dying of? What are they getting sick of? What are they testing positive for if it's fake? How could that all be fake? That'd be so hard to pull off for all that, don't you think?
But being in the like sitting on the fence with it all now, I'm just gonna say like the death rates across the world right now for things like cancer and AIDS and everything else have gone right down. Flu is a major one. Nobody's dying of the flu anymore. Nobody's died of the flu or caught the flu, like the proper flu bug, for like 8 months now, 9 months. All the deaths are being attributed to coronavirus. Everything,
So could
you
that
know.
be because of like all the precautions everyone's been taking is actually stopping people from getting the flu as well?
Possibly, like staying indoors. Obviously, it's not going to, kind of travel around as fast. But what I mean is, when all this started, they were building all these hospitals all over the place. Everybody was going to be dying. Boris Johnson was on our TV over here saying, one in 8 of you are going to be dead this time next year. Get ready, say goodbye to your loved ones. Blah blah blah. It's nearly a year later, and it's nothing even close to that. It's nothing. It's not even 1 out of 8. Not even 0.1 out of 8. People's family have died and stuff.
That's crazy that he said that, because that's
Oh, mate. Honestly, go and look for it on YouTube.
Yeah.
It was a Sunday night, and I remember the whole of the UK was sat there waiting for it to see what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it came on TV, and it was just like, look, lads, I'm not going to lie to you, it's fucking bad out there. There's a disease going around. You're all going to die. Just go out, buy loads of toilet roll, and you'll be cushed here. And everyone did. And then you've got old Donald Trump, and it's coronavirus that's lost in this election. Exactly, that's what it is. But you've got Donald Trump going on TV saying, it's all right, lads, don't worry about it. There's no virus. And then a week later, he's going on TV saying, tell you what, if you get some domestos or sif, I don't know what you might have in Canada, but basically bleach out of underneath your sink, you'll be sorted. Just inject it, sniff a line of it, you'll be good. And you know that week that he said that about injecting bleach, there was nobody injected it, but do you know how many people got took into hospital for ingesting bleach because they'd sat at home and gone, well, if the president said it, then it must be right. People were dying because he told them to drink bleach. Like, what is going on in the world?
I don't think it was that many people. There's some really dumb people, right? Obviously, you should do your own research before just listening to something. So, okay, what this guy commented, he said, I know someone who thinks the virus was put out to reduce the population.
Yeah, I could believe that, man.
Okay, that's a conspiracy that I could definitely easily buy into, more than saying that the virus is fake, right? So, but really, like, do you have to make like a fake virus or generate a virus when there's all these sicknesses just naturally happening all the time anyways? Isn't it kind of like the natural progression? And then that's what I was saying, like, I've said this before, like, with like even when I was younger, I remember people saying this, like, with the 99% sanitizer shit, right? It's like you're gonna make a super bug, that's like that can just resist all of this stuff, because that 0.001% that survives will be able to flourish, and evolve. So then what the fuck are we gonna do? So it's kind of like now with everyone
doing already, isn't it?
And shit, like maybe the coronavirus is setting something else up, right? Where it's like the next bug will be super powerful because everyone, especially like the kids and shit, kids aren't playing in dirt anymore. They're not interacting with each other, not getting sick, not building up their immune systems. Maybe all the kids are gonna, so like in like 10, 20 years from now, they can but another virus can happen and potentially wipe out way more people, right?
Old Bill Gates said it, didn't he? Like, I think it was like September or October of last year. Bill Gates retired from his CEO position and said, went on video, it's out there, you can watch his video, saying, very soon there's going to be a worldwide pandemic that is going to wipe out a lot of people, and you guys need to be ready for it. Lo and behold, not even years later, a few months after he said it, it happened. Not saying he's got anything to do with it.
Right.
It's possible. It might not be, but whatever. But they knew it was coming. They knew it was coming. Long time before it's been predicted. As you said just now, like all the kids indoors, there's no kids at home anymore that's going outside eating bits of dog shit off the street that they think's a bit of half a chocolate bar. Look at that Twix down there. I'm having that, lads. That's mine. That is. Greg, I don't think that was Twix. You know, it's not happening no more. Like,
So
it's
funny.
not.
I had a very similar situation to that actually happened, but I was like 15 or something, or 14, maybe 13. I don't know. But we were arguing with my buddy. We were saying that he fucking rode his bike in shit, and he's like, "No, that's not shit." And we're like, "Hey, if it's not shit, fucking stick your finger in it and smell it. If it's just dirt." So he did it, and then he's like, "No, it's not shit." And we're like, "Okay, well then fucking lick it if it's not shit." So he licked a little bit, and then he goes, "It's shit."
Bro, you knew before, didn't you? It was shit.
Yeah,
It's
we're like, "Yo, if it's not shit, then fucking sniff it." And then he's like, "It's not shit." I was sniffing it, and then it's like, "Okay, lick a little bit." And then we're like little kids, or well, not that little. It was pretty fucking hilarious.
Mate, that's the greatest thing I've ever heard. You made your friend. Oh, mate.
Similar thing. Like, didn't really, you know. It was great.
If the situation comes up where your friend can eat some shit, 100% you're gonna let it happen, aren't you, man? Yeah. But we had it when I was at school. Like, there might be even somebody watching this stream that would probably even know about this. But when we was at school and we was doing our GCSEs and for some reason was playing hide and seek in the woods next to the school right before our fucking maths GCSE, and somebody pissed in a bottle of. Do you remember? I don't know if you had it over there, but it was called Still Tango. It was like tango that you put water in and you make it like juice. But somebody pissed in the bottle, and this lad Domenico De Rosa, probably shouldn't even say his name on YouTube.
Oh shit, dude!
But it's out there anyway. They just knew because he was the kid that, you know, whenever somebody pulled out a pack of crisps or a chocolate bar or a drink, he was that kid that was like, "Get some of that. Let's have some of that."
Yeah.
So he pissed in the bottle and was like, "Watch this." I bet Domenico asked, and he did, and he's like, "Get some of that." Oh mate, I've never seen it like it. Absolutely, you must have drank half a bottle before it kind of hit his brain waves. Like, yo, this ain't tango. This is not tango. This is something else, man. Oh, but yeah, if those opportunities arrive, then yeah, you've got to do that, man. But yeah, this Nath Davis, he said here, I heard they were signing off the COVID, the death as relate. Sorry, I've forgotten how to speak English there completely. I heard they were signing off the death as COVID related, even if they were suffering from cancer or heart attack. That is true. Elon Musk, who we'll probably get onto shortly, Elon Musk, he actually said that himself in, I think it was Joe Rogan podcast. I think we discussed this on a previous podcast that we did together. But Joe Rogan actually said on his podcast that he knows personally people that own hospitals and run hospitals that have been told if somebody dies of a traffic accident, then they'll get, I think, $30 per person from the government to treat this person. But if somebody's marked down as COVID-related death, they'll get $100. So all these hospitals all around the world are basically taking advantage of the situation. And because let's not forget, businesses, hospitals are businesses. You know, they're not there, number one, to help people. That is not what a hospital is designed for. Number one, a hospital and Medicare and, you know, all your prescription tablets, everything else, all of that is there to make money. It's not there to help people, you know.
No, I agree.
As number 9 said earlier, depopulation. They want less people on the planet. They want less people. So, you know, it makes no sense to.
Is less people like a good thing though? Like, should we just keep getting more and more? Like, what are we at? We're at like 8 billion, I think.
There's a breaking point. There's a breaking point with humans, I think.
So, like, I think maybe they're just trying to save the world. Yeah, so we're at 7.8 billion. So, I don't want them to kill people. Like,
no, I mean, neither.
I think they should just start sending people to Mars. You know, that'll reduce the population here.
Bro, that's
like,
what
send people to the moon and shit. You know,
that's what's happening right now. Oh, you've just been told off here in the comments as well. Excuse me. That was the comment that was a Mrs. before. Mrs. number 9 talks.
Oh, what did I say?
Mr.
Number 9.
Well, you didn't say Mr. I think you just said him or he. But no, it's cool. She's a good lass. Like, I know her anyway. She's a good lass. So yeah, she's only messing around there.
Not bad.
But yeah, Elon Musk, he's sending people to Mars now, isn't he? Like, this is what he wants to do. He said he wants to die on Mars. He literally wants to move there in the next 30 years and never come back to Earth.
That'd be sick as fuck. He's been saying a lot of shit. It doesn't always he's always like projecting shit way before it happens.
Have you seen he's trying to mine a asteroid? He's trying to mine an asteroid that's millions and millions and millions of miles away. Because this asteroid is made of platinum and gold. And this guy,
platinum and gold.
Yeah. Well, we don't want it. He does. Yeah. He's like, yeah. Elon. He's gone on Google one day and he's just Googled, where's the most diamonds in the world, and he's come across. It's not in, it's floating through, and he's thought, I'm going to mine that. How can I get that gold? And
that's amazing. I hope he does, man, and I hope he puts it on Mars and everyone's rocking crazy bling. You know what I mean? All these like gold chains made from like asteroid gold. Imagine how sick that means. You got like a gold chain that was fucking mined from some asteroid. God damn.
But what happens to the value of gold, though?
Pardon?
But if he mines that and he brings down, this thing's massive, mate. With it, it's half the size of the moon. It's huge. If he brings all of that to Earth, this platinum and gold, what happens to the value of Earth gold? There's going to be a lot of people that's going to end up going bankrupt who have, over the years, because it was a clever thing to do, said, you know what, forget cash. I'm putting all of my money into gold.
Gold's going up like crazy. So I would love for gold to crash. That would make me so happy, actually. Because it's not going to. And it's worth so much, even just for like a tiny piece right now. Like if you bought gold a year ago, you're so happy. If you bought it,
and it's mad as well that it's just something that just comes out of the ground, that it can have so much value.
Yeah, because we just give it value. Like we just give tons of random shit value. The only things that actually make sense that are worth money is like, property. They're not making any more of that. Like water and food.
Yeah, they've got real value.
Shit, yeah.
They're the things that keep people alive. They're the things that should have the most value. But you can go and buy a property. You can go and buy a cheap, all right, it's probably in the middle of the ghetto, but you can buy a cheap property in England for as cheap as like £15,000 for a little tiny bedsit, tiny money. And then you can buy a little piece of gold that goes on the end of your finger for 100 times that, 150 times that. It's like the way humans value things is kind of ridiculous. But yeah, Nath Davis says it. I don't know if you can see the comments when they come up on the screen or not. I don't know if you come up on your side, but yeah, Nath Davis, he says, how long has COVID been with us? I don't believe this is a new virus. I think we've talked about this before.
Oh yeah, that's definitely like there is like on hand sanitizers and shit. It says kills COVID on some shit, right?
Yeah, I think they were like COVID-16 and stuff like that.
So it's like
but it's basically the same thing, isn't it?
It's family of the flu or whatever. It just keeps evolving, so they give it new names, right?
Yeah. Well, in a few months' time, this is what people don't. In a few months' time, like at the minute, we've got COVID-19 because it first popped up in December 2019. But in a few months' time, because this bug, disease, whatever you want to call it, because it's, I don't know if you've seen on the news over there, but it's transferred into some, I think it's mink or ferrets or something like that. So they've had to cull a load of ferrets and mink because it's jumped into them, mutated, and then jumped back into the farmers of these mink. So what they've done is
that's crazy. Holy shit.
This is in the news. Last couple of days, this is. I think yesterday they killed the mink. They had to just burn thousands of them.
Holy fuck.
Because this is the mink will be like the death of humans. Basically, COVID can jump to mink and then jump back to humans as a mutated version. So in a couple of months from now, we're not going to have COVID-19. It's going to be COVID-20.
Yeah.
And then it'll be 21. Same as it's been 16 and 17. We've had COVID for, as you said, it's been on the bleach bottles for years. So it's going to, it's just something that's been around.
I've never heard of COVID before. It's weird.
Me neither.
It's scary, man. It's like, in one direction, stuff is getting really cool with like technologies and like video games and shit, and phones. And then the other direction, it's like fucking, it's getting scarier and scarier to be alive, you know? It's fucking.
Could it be that technology in that though that's unbalancing us?
Yeah, true, for sure. Yeah, it definitely could be. That's a good point.
You know, the way our brains work and stuff. Technology is 100% slowing us down. Like the evolution of humans, we're all gonna have like massive fingers. We're just gonna have huge fingers, and our legs are gonna not work.
That's funny. No, I think before then, it's like Elon's gonna do some crazy shit with the Neuralink shit, bro. That's scary as fuck too. AI and shit. Like if you design an AI, first of all, and like give it some purpose, and then it just does whatever it can do to complete this goal, you know what I mean? Who knows what it'll do? And then with the AI chips, like the hacking and shit, like fucking your computer gets hacked, you know what I mean? So like if you're gonna get like a chip in your brain, like they could just hack them and kill like millions of people at once, whoever has them, maybe. You know what I mean? Just send out a signal that makes everyone suicide themselves.
Technology paranoia is bad enough. Have you never been sat like
that's like the next zombie movie? Imagine, so everyone who gets the Neuralink becomes a zombie kind of thing, but they're like super smart and they just try to kill you or try to inject you with a Neuralink. Whoa, dude, that's the next zombie movie. You gotta do it.
Bro, Skynet just went live the other day. You know Skynet from the Terminator?
Oh, but they actually called it Skynet a thing?
Yeah, some guys just decide, what can we call this thing? I know what we'll call it. We'll call it after that thing that just destroyed human civilization in that movie Terminator. Like, people will be comfortable. Mate, I'm scared to death that some cunts decided to call something Skynet. That's absolutely ridiculous, man.
What is it, though? Is it the same thing from the movie?
Basically, yeah. Well, sort of, yeah. It's like it is. Basically, I can't explain it in great detail, but basically, yeah, it's basically the same thing. It's like a web of like basically there's a point with when I mentioned the words breaking point earlier, it's the same with computers and technology. There is a point where they make a computer that is more intelligent than we are, because currently there's no computer that's more intelligent than a human. They might be able to solve things faster than we are, but they're programmed by humans, which means that we are still in control of that technology. When they build a computer that figures out that we are trash, that's it. It's game over for us, man.
Right,
it's game over. Because they will program everything else to destroy us.
But it'd be so hard to have something that makes its own choices, right? Because like we have like goals and stuff or whatever, but like a computer, you know, like it doesn't have any needs, you know, it just needs like the electricity or whatever, and then so you have to give it a goal, and then you can give it the AI like some crazy goal like stop world hunger or whatever, and then it goes, okay, by killing everyone, that's how I stop world hunger. And then it just fucking kills everybody, right? That's the scenario I see us probably going down.
It's hard one to explain, but basically computers will figure out that we're not needed for Earth. We are a cancer to Earth. Like when you said that a computer doesn't have a goal, it kind of does. Like a computer only goes by logic, and by logic, humans are a cancer to Earth. And the first time a computer figures that out, because they go on all the information that it's given through things like Google and I can't remember what it's called, but there's like a prediction.
But why would a computer care? It doesn't care that we're a cancer to Earth. It doesn't.
That's our downfall. That's our downfall. The fact that it doesn't care. The fact that it only runs on logic. Mm-hmm. If somebody asked the question to a computer one day, which I don't know if you saw the Google robots that they made, where they made two Google robots and they switched them on and made them have a conversation with each other. These two computers made their own language on the spot because they realized that humans could hear what they were saying. So they created their own language and started speaking in it. And I can't remember what was it that they said. They said something about human civilizations, the end is nigh, or some shit like that. Basically, computers know. Computers know. There's enough information that runs through the internet and Google and everything else, and it picks up on conversation that people have through social media. Things like 9/11 and all stuff like that. It's all been predicted through the internet, just through computer programs. The way that people are having conversations, they can predict the way that the world's going.
Fuck, that's crazy, man. That sucks. We need
it's AI.
Mm-hmm.
It's artificial intelligence, and honestly, once it becomes more intelligent than we are, and it figures out that, if somebody poses a question to a computer that's brainy enough one day, how can we make this work? If it say, all right, computer, go and make this world better, the computer's going to sit there and think, all right, what's destroying this planet? All right, humans are cutting down trees. Humans are killing all these animals for food. Humans we are the cancer of this earth, because all we do is we take resources from it.
Okay, what if we program the computer to do this instead? We're like, yo, computer, spread life, and we just shoot it off into space with some life on it, and this artificial, and we get it to like terraform planets for us. How sick would that be?
That's possible. In terms of space, like, anything's possible right now.
So we could use like the technology and shit to like just throw a fucking shitload of seeds and like water on like a spaceship or something. I don't know. And with this super smart AI that could like take care of these plants and shit, that'd be so sick, dude. I
think it's even simpler than that though. With places like Mars, everything's there that they need already. I think it's something to do with like methane and that. All they need to do is add one chemical into the equation of the atmosphere of Mars, and all of a sudden oxygen just starts forming itself. And it might take 100 years for it to become somewhere that humans could breathe again. But until then, they'd live like in a bubble. But anywhere within the habitable zone is good for life. If we could send these computers up there to go and find them, then I'm all for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I think like, you know, it'd be nice if there were some conspiracies that were a little less bleak. You know, they're more optimistic. I guess they're not conspiracies.
I mean, most of them are like, we've got one. America and Canada need an NHS style for the nation. Yeah, how do you feel about your care over there, actually? Because it is completely different to our care system over here.
So our healthcare, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, because your insurance, you're like, it's insurance the same way as America, isn't it? But
no,
over
so
here,
not the same as America. It's free healthcare in Canada, kinda. But I hate it because it's like you can sit in the hospital for 8 hours and then just die there in the waiting room. Like I went to the hospital recently, like a couple months ago or whatever. Like my shoulder was killing me. I slept on it wrong. It turns out like I just like got a bunch of painkillers. I was fine. You know what I mean? It's just like fucking, you know,
dying of all sorts of
10 hours and shit. And like my grandfather, like before he, like the day he died, he sat in the hospital for like 10, 12 hours or some crazy long time. So it's like you just sit in the waiting room like forever. Yeah, it's free, but it's like I would rather, I don't know. And it's like when I was there, I looked at like the prices that you'd have to pay if you didn't live in Canada, and they were so crazy. It was like $700 to see a doctor or whatever. Whenever you see a doctor too in Canada, it's like for like 30 seconds. I don't know why you have to wait so long. You literally see the doctor, they come in, they're like da-da-da-da, and then they're out. You know what I mean?
They've got their answer ready before they even walked in the room, haven't they? They've seen the little clipboard thing. They've gone, right, this guy's got this wrong with him. Want to go in, tell him this, tell him what he needs.
Like there could be like a more efficient, better way, you know? Like it's so sad being in there, also seeing like a room full of people all suffering. Like anything else you want, you can get right away. Say you want a car, you can go get a car. You can go get coffee. You can go do whatever. But like if you're dying, you can't get help. Like how does that make sense? You know?
Like a movie.
It pisses me off, man. I don't know how the healthcare system is like where you're from. To
be honest, like the UK, like over here, we moan about it so much in the UK. Oh, the NHS is terrible. I've just been run over and I've had to wait 8 minutes for an ambulance. It's absolutely disgusting. Bro, like our healthcare system in the UK, we are so lucky that we've got an NHS. I'm going to be honest, man. All right. Sometimes it might
Probably
not
lucky
be.
too. Yeah, I'm probably, but there is still things to complain about, right?
We've done like in America. They've tried to sort it out in recent years, and we've got the problem at the moment with like Brexit and healthcare and stuff, and we're going to be tied to America because we're going to have to make all of our trade agreements with the US of A if we end up going out of Brexit on a no deal. So it is a worry. Like our NHS can become privatized, and then it will be a case where, much the same as you, we're going to have people in the waiting rooms in the hospitals just sitting. Like someone's just been, they've got no head left, like half their head hanging off, and they're in the flipping waiting room, just like, excuse me, can I be seen? No, there's a guy over there who, all right, he's just got a busted toe, like, but he's paid his healthcare, so like he's got, mate, it's such a bad way of doing things, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like in America, you know, if you get shot but you're unconscious, they can't just not treat you. So there is that misconception about America where they just won't treat you and they'll keep that won't happen. You'll never get kicked out of a hospital. You'll always get treated.
Anywhere,
the only thing is,
like I went to Thailand and I got fucked up. Like I wiped out on a moped, and I went to a hospital. It was fucking great. It's like my best experience at any hospital.
did you have to pay though, or was it?
I didn't pay. I don't know why. I think I was supposed to, but I couldn't understand anything they were saying. They couldn't understand me, and they just helped me, and they were just nice people. And I was like, all right, thanks.
Yeah, you're not going to refuse the help, are you?
Too, like they even gave me painkiller. It was trippy.
Wow. So yeah, so places like that, it's sort of, to be honest, I don't know how it would work if you was not from America. Like if you was a British tourist and you went over and, as you did, fell off a moped. I don't know what would happen over there with insurance. I've got this feeling they would just sue the shit out of you.
Right. Well, like I have like travelers insurance and shit. I don't know if I like. It was so long ago. It was like 10 years ago or something now. But fucking yeah, it was crazy, man. Thailand's crazy. You should go there if you get the chance. It's a lot closer for you than it is for me. I was a 28-hour flight, bro.
28 hours, Jesus,
yeah.
man.
But yeah, pharmaceuticals are crazy. This comic says COVID, man, made by China to boost pharmaceuticals. I hate pharmaceutical companies, man. I say people should try to avoid that shit as much as you can. Like, fucking, I've gotten like way more health problems from taking pills from the government than I've gotten from like doing illegal drugs. You know what I mean? It makes no sense. I've smoked weed.
I don't do illegal drugs. Never in my life. Not into it. Like anybody on this live stream right now listening, like it's not me. It's not me. It's just a roll up right now. Tobacco.
How many people do we got watching? Can you see? I can't see.
It's 5 at the minute. So yeah, it's going all right.
I'll take
We've got comment down here. Great live stream. So yeah, we're getting some good news. But just going back to that one there. That is. I've lost it now. Where are we? There we go. Yeah, the Chinese one, the pharmaceuticals. He was going to bring that up. That's a very good question, man. Like, how? Like, obviously, it's probably not a question I should be answering on a live stream because, like, a lot of these streams, kind of, it's never going to get monetized or anything like that. So I'm not really asked. But yeah, what do you think? Is it China? Do you think it was some kind of an attack from China, or do you think it was just pure accident? Because for me, just before you answer, I just want to say, like, my opinion on it is quickly. The timing of it was mental, mate. The timing of it was crazy. They have gained from this in March when you and America and ourselves and pretty much the rest of the world were all going into lockdown. And that's when we did our first podcast back then, March, April, somewhere around there. It was the same day of the Black Lives Matters march. It was the same day I spoke to you. So yeah, back then it was like, you know, we're all scared to death, not knowing what's going on. But if you turned on the TV at that point, China were having street parties celebrating that COVID was gone. They've had a vaccine over there since March. They've had a vaccine that they won't let out of the country because it's only experimental. And since the COVID, they've gained a lot. I don't know if you've looked into like the world economies and the world leadership and basically the world order. I don't want to use the words New World Order because it's corny, but basically the New World Order is what is happening right now. And China and Russia not far behind, gone straight to the top.
Yeah, that sucks. Because with the New World Order and shit, it is gonna happen, which sucks. But also, it's like I would want democracy to win, even though it's bound to fail. It's like,
There's no such thing as democracy, mate. There's not. Democracy is
well,
something
the
that
illusion of democracy is at least kind of.
illusion. Yeah.
China doesn't even try to hide it. It's just the same people in power all the time, right? Same with Russia.
China
It's like
don't have it.
Vladimir Putin is just like gonna be in power until he dies. It's like Trump was in power for 4 years, right? And then now it's like we're not gonna hear about him all the time. And it's gonna be somebody else. You know, it's like I kind of like that, where it's like even if it is somebody else running it behind the curtain or whatever, it is nice that at least at least they're faking it, or at least they're trying to fake it. Whereas other countries, a lot of other countries don't even give a fuck. You know what I mean? They're
No,
like,
man.
this is
China
how.
and Russia. But
Yeah.
the thing is that, like, all right, it's what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word? Like China and Russia. It's so I've had some whiskey tonight, so my brain's not really with me. But yeah, they're told what to do. Like in China and Russia, they've got that wall around with the internet, so they can't get out and see new information unless they're using VPNs and stuff. You know, but it kind of works as a country. Everybody's eating, you know, everybody's eating. There's not a lot of homelessness and there's not a lot of crime, or there is crime, but it's petty and kind of low level, or it's gangster shit. There's no kind of in the middle. You know, there's not like in England and maybe Canada to a point as well, and definitely in America, a lot of people are living from crime, you know, whether it be selling drugs or you know, burgling houses, you know, robbing banks, whatever it is. There's a lot of people that are living from crime as a day-to-day job, you know.
Yeah, they're
But
only.
this is like China and stuff. You're either a gangster who is probably connected to politicians already, or you're a crackhead who's just mugging other people. You know, there's not a lot of in the middle. So maybe being a communist state, that's the word I was looking for a moment ago. Maybe living in a communist country, maybe it does actually work. You know, maybe it doesn't. I'm not saying communism is good, like, but I'm just trying to look at it on both different sides of the things. Nobody's taking the piss out of China. Nobody's taking the piss out of Russia. So maybe it does work.
Do you know, I think would be really cool to see, it's probably never going to happen, but I would like to see really small communities, right? I don't like people getting too much power. So if there was like tons and tons of really small communities instead of these giant forces that get all these, it's like, you know what I mean?
Excuse me. Yeah, man.
So
But
have like
it's
a fucking
like the UN type of thing.
countries or something, you know, like just split up the land, like take down the leaders and like let's just keep splitting it up, and we'll all have a shitload of countries and whatever it's
We
like
haven't got the guns for it.
that country.
In order for that to happen, then everybody needs to arm themselves. But I don't even know what the law is in Canada.
People would start like it would get crazy. Probably it's just a
I'd get mental because the thing is with arming ourselves in the UK, like our gun laws are that fucked in the UK that
the
you know people.
have guns, right?
Oh, not all of them, though. Not all of them. Your bobbies, your tit heads, as we call it, your tit heads over there, because I don't know if you've seen the old bobbies over here. They got the tit heads. But the tit heads, they ain't got guns. They're still running around with little batons and a little electric pokies. You know, they're still running around with that. So if there is a bigger crime, then they'll call out the police, and you know they've got the Volvos with the, you know, they've got the handguns in the back, and if it escalates, they'll call out the other gun squad. But it takes a lot to get to that. Takes a lot to get to that. Apart from, I think I was like 18, 19. I got into a situation. I'd been out drinking with one of my mates and my dad, and we was drinking a drink over here called Aftershock, which is, it's a nice drink, but it's one of them drinks that just makes you do really bizarre stuff. So anyway, my dad dropped us off towards my ex-girlfriend's house, and got out of the car, and something inside of me just went, oh, you see that van over there? Why don't you punch in the windows? So I did. So I went over. Honestly, I don't know if you can see him on this. I'll try and, I don't know. I've got scars all over my hands anyway. I've got scars. I can't even get it in the shot here. Just on my thumb there.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a. But yeah, I punched the windows through and just went on an absolute mad one. And anyway, I lost my mate. Like, I lost him. He wasn't from Nottingham, so he got lost somewhere. And I ended up running from the police. I climbed over somebody's back garden fence. And when I jumped over the fence, landed in the garden pond, you know, like fishing there and everything. So I'm like confused as to what's going on. Hid underneath a car, got caught. And anyway, when the police caught me, like they had guns out, rifles, the whole lot. They like, get down on the floor. And I'm like soaking wet, dripping because I've been head to foot in this pond. Confused as to why there's guns. They're like, where's the gun? And I'm thinking, oh fuck, this has gone bad. This has definitely gone. Really went out for a couple of drinks. I don't know why I'm soaking wet with gun police on me. And it turns out my mate had flipping, when I'd lost him, he'd panicked because he's not from Nottingham. And he seen these two lads and he told them that he'd got a gun. And if they didn't tell him where I was, then he was going to shoot them. And flipping, these lads didn't know where the hell I was. They didn't have a clue. So they've like, oh yeah, he's up here at this shop. And they've walked him up to the shop. And they've said to the shopkeeper, ring the coppers, this guy's mental. This crazy Scottish guy saying he's got a gun. Right. Oh, so yeah, the gun police, like it takes a lot. So I drifted off onto that there, but yeah, it takes a lot for the gun police.
That's
to like.
Wow, bro, that's fucking intense. I would love to go there eventually. Like, it's weird, man. I don't know if like traveling is gonna be like a thing ever again. It's so weird. It's like I was saying it since the beginning. Everyone was saying this is gonna last a couple weeks, last forever. The Chinese or Russians will be the first to build an army of robots. Mine, the Chinese ones will probably break after a day.
Keep the receipt for that shit, man.
Yo, that's fucking funny, dude. That's so funny.
However, though, you'll get the same day delivery on Amazon, so you'll be sorted. You just get the next one in the same day. Bro, how are China delivering shit from on Amazon the same day? Like, I don't get it.
That's wild, yeah.
We've got some people actually believe we're living in the Matrix. Like, this is a good question. I've been seeing that for the last couple of minutes in the thing here. That's actually a good question. But some people believe we're living in the Matrix now. Some ways, yes, but full-on machine born is far-fetched. Did you know, right? Just going on to this comment, did you know that there is a theory, and I think Elon Musk, like his name comes up in everything we talk about. But even Elon Musk supports his theory that there is, I think it's something like a 97.8% chance that right now we are living in the Matrix.
I hate the logic of that theory, though, because you know what that is? So they're saying the logic behind that is that if you made like a simulation, you can make a simulation inside that simulation, kind of like the Rick and Morty thing with the universe inside a universe inside a universe, right? So the chances are really slim that you'd be in the original universe, right?
Yeah.
To me, that takes out like so many like problems, though. Like, it doesn't think about like the fact, like, so they're just assuming that life, actual real life, instead of just computer programs, is like a thing in these simulations. You know what I mean? Because it's like where it's like I don't know. It's like to me, it's so dumb because. And, like, okay, so if you go by that theory, wouldn't it be logically more probable that we'd be in something super crazy with rules that don't make sense? Because when you're making simulations, like games and stuff, it's all about, like, crazy shit, you know what I mean? It's all, like, a lot of stuff. There's glitches and shit. I mean, you could argue that there is glitches. Even
I was just about to say that, man. Like, when soon as you said the word glitches, so many glitches. You know, the Mandela effect that's the main glitch that people think of.
It is a simulation. Whoever designed it, like, put a lot of fucking work into making this shit perfect. And like, so are we all like playing ourselves like video games where it's like you dive into this game and it's like a new person is born? Or you don't even know what you're gonna be in. It's like you dive in, and then it's like after this, you'll wake up and you'll be like, fuck, that game was crazy, bro. Like, I forgot
Maybe.
about my whole life. I forgot about like this whole other world that I live in that's so much better, right?
Maybe that's heaven. Maybe heaven is the other place. Maybe heaven is that other the player that's controlling the world that we're in right now. You know, like Sab Powers. You know what are your strengths and weaknesses if you were a computer game? Podcast extraordinaire, like for a start. Like,
have you heard this theory about that? Like, you're everyone and everything. So it's like once you die, you like say, well, I could die and then I come back as you, and then when you die, it's like you come back as like a fucking mosquito, and then like you know what I mean. And then,
also built into that theory is that time is no thing. Like you could come back as fucking Charlie Chaplin.
yeah,
You know?
exactly, because it has to be time is no thing because we're both interacting right now at the same time, right? So, man, there's like so many crazy, cool possibilities, and could it be all of them? Could it be the universe interacting with itself as a simulation in the you know?
I don't know. But would you prefer that we was in a matrix, or would you like to think that we've still got control of what happens in our destiny? Or is it more comfortable to think that it don't matter?
If it is like the Matrix in the sense like that everything's fake and at the end you wake up, that'd be dope because like I just don't want to die, you know what I mean? So the fact that there'd be a whole nother life after death would be sick. And I like unknown shit. So what's this comment? You ring when the lines are open for an appointment and it's all engaged for nearly half an hour. Finally get through, all the appointments are gone. I think she's talking about back when we were talking about the hospitals and shit, right?
Yeah, that's what that is. I know exactly what she means because I don't know what it's like in Canada, but in particular, not so much the hospital, but the doctors. So say if you wake up in the morning, you've got work that afternoon, but you've got a bit of a tummy bug and you need a certificate from the doctors. If you ring up the doctors in the UK, and Mrs. Nine Talk, she's completely right, Mum. You ring up and basically we have to go for an emergency appointment in the UK. Now, what emergency appointment in the UK basically means is you can try and ring us if you want, but you're better off just going and rolling a spliff and doing something else because no one's going to answer the phone. Like, nobody answers the telephone. And they answer eventually at 10 o'clock and they say, oh, you're going to have to ring us back in the morning for an emergency appointment. It's like, but I'm sacked by then. I've lost my job by then. It's absolutely disgusting the way that the doctors are run. But it's but it's different to what we were talking about before with the healthcare system and the hospitals and, you know, and the doctors and such not. With the hospitals, it's more you go there, they've got no choice, so they've got a lot more staff. But at the doctors, they might only have 3 or 4 people in the surgeries that can see you at any time. So it's a lot busier there. It's bad, but we're getting it all for free. So we can't really complain on the NHS too much. But yeah, James Brown, he said, and this is something I mentioned earlier, is COVID-19 all down to 5G? This is an interesting one. I don't believe that it is. I've actually deleted and blocked people on Facebook and Twitter that have pissed me off with 5G back in March, April, May.
5G does seem crazy though. The way I heard someone explain it, it's like you would be able to do surgeries like live from across the world. That's how.
Oh yeah. It's super fast.
Does seem scary in its own way, in its own unrelated way to COVID. I think going back to the whole AI thing, AIs or whatever would be able to communicate across the world super crazy fast. It already could, you know what I mean? But it's like so ridiculously fast. Everything's like instant. In a way, it'd be fucking awesome, but it's like, isn't it already good enough? Like we're literally talking face to face across the world, and there's no legs or anything. It almost feels like, how could it get that much better than this?
Oh, you're literally on the other side of the world, yeah, and like we're having a conversation like you're in the room. We don't need it any faster.
It's gonna get crazy. It's gonna be like actual holograms and shit that look like you're here and it looks like I'm there or whatever, you know.
Bro, you're gonna be cool. Like 2 years from now, we're gonna be doing a podcast together, and in your head, you're gonna think of a question, and I'm gonna answer it before you've said it.
Fuck, that's wild, dude. Oh yeah, the Neuralink shit. That's scary, man.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, do you know what? And do you know what? We kind of skipped that whole Neuralink thing. We should have spent a little bit more time on that whole Neuralink. That's connected to this whole 5G as well, because Elon Musk, he said he can't run this Neuralink without 5G. In fact, everything that Elon Musk has to do, he needs 5G for. I don't think that's what is COVID-19. I don't think that's a connection at all. But I do think 5G is something that we have got to watch out for. I don't necessarily think it's a cancer thing, it's killing us all. But in terms of just spying on us as well, the problems that America and Canada as well, Australia, the UK, many, many countries have got with 5G is it's not really us that's in control with it all. And it's going back to China again. So I do think that COVID-19 is a worry, but I don't think it's got anything to do with 5G. I don't think there's any connection there. But I mean, what was it like over there for you? When it was all going off, was the people like setting fire to the 5G towers that were getting built? And
no, but it's weird because like I remember I had someone on the podcast that said like the COVID shit happened, right? So they locked everyone in and we can't go outside, and then they put up all these towers, right? So it's like it did seem kind of like coincidental with that. Like, why is
it was mad coincidental
and COVID happening at the same time? It could be coincidental, or like, yeah, maybe they could actually be correlated. It is strange because like, yeah, like true, like back to what I said at the beginning, true knowledge is knowing you know nothing. So like, yeah, any of this shit is definitely possible. Like it's what James Brown say here.
It is possible, like 100%. It is possible. It's just the likelihood of 5. But it was, as you just said a second ago, it was a mad coincidence that when we all went on lockdown, it was pretty much the whole world at the same time. The 5G thing did happen at the same time, but they were actually building the towers before we went into lockdown. So,
okay. See, and like would they even care? Like people don't interfere with towers and shit like that. Like, what would they need to hide, and what people were still going outside and stuff. But James Brown said he read something the other day about the elite using COVID-19 to try to create one government for the whole world, which I guess would be run by Russia and China ruling the world. Yeah, that's definitely fucking possible, but
a few years ago, that theory was right.
Yeah, like, do they even need COVID-19? They could just be taking advantage of the situation, right? And is it even good for the elite to have these crazy diseases? Like, what if like it gets too out of control and then just like everybody dies? You know what I mean? Some crazy disease comes that like literally is transported like through the air and just like spreads like wildfire. It's like way more contagious than COVID. You need to stay like fucking 20, 30 feet away from people or something, right? Could just like, that's what I'm afraid of, and that's what I think is gonna happen. It's like, what's the next thing? Like, COVID's not bad. We all know it's like, it's not that bad. Like, yeah, we're all being forced to take these crazy precautions, but like, you can look at the stats of right now. It's like, if you get it, you're probably not going to get it, but 2, if you do get it, you're probably not going to die, and you'll be fine in a couple weeks. You know what I mean?
My kid's grandma's got it right now.
Yeah.
She's fine. She didn't even. Basically, my kid's mum's mum, like my kid's nana, she works in a care home. She looks after mentally disabled people, so she has to have a test once a week. But she'd been going to test for a whole week. Gone in, took the test, and discovered that she'd got it. She got no sniffle. She got no cough. Chest was fine. And she's a heavy smoker. She's a heavy smoker. She didn't have a clue that she had it. She didn't have a clue. And if she hadn't had the test, she wouldn't have had a clue now. She's still been fine.
Yeah, I had a friend actually tell me that, like, I never hung out with this person since all the COVID stuff started, but they said that they had kind of the same thing. So they wanted time off work, so they lied to their boss and said they had a COVID test, and then they went and actually got one, and then found out they had COVID, and they pretty much had no symptoms. And they're like, "What the fuck?" They're like, no, I was doing this. Like, I was lying. Like, I don't actually have. You know, and then they end up having it, and then yeah, they're fine now too.
You know, if we all had that antibody test, which is available, but I think you got to pay. It's like £100. So Canadian dollars? £100. It's probably how much is that? It's going to be.
It's probably
$150.
$150.
About $150. So
no, wait. Yeah. So your money is worth more than ours. So yeah.
Not in a minute. The pound has dropped a lot. Pound ain't worth nothing.
Still worth more than ours though. Ours is like, okay, wait. I'll look it up.
You got the rate there.
Yeah, so £1 is worth 172 Canadian.
Really? Wow. All right, then. So about 172 Canadian dollars or £100, you can get the antibody test, and that tells you whether or not you've had the coronavirus at any point, and you've got antibodies. I guarantee you now that if you, me, and most other people went and took that test, we're all going to find that at some point we've had it, and most of us have just not known about it.
Oh, definitely possible, yeah. And like someone commented earlier, there's been different forms of it before, right? So it's like you might have built up antibodies back in like 2016 or whatever. You know, it's like, is the 2019 version really that much different? Like, did it? I mean, who knows? I don't know shit, man. It's weird. It's like the whole bat thing is super weird to me too. It's like,
that bat thing is mad. I don't believe in that bat thing.
It's like, I don't know, man. It's like it's really hard to prove anything. The only thing that's like really easy to prove is math, right? Math always makes sense.
Math always works out. But yeah, the bat thing, as you just said, like to me, that just sounds like a complete blag. I don't believe that whatsoever. But we've got a question that I'm just about to put on the screen just now. Get ready for this one. This one's a deep. If there's any question that's going to come up on this live stream or any of us, because to be honest, you know what, I'm really enjoying this. Like, if you want to do it, like we can do this regular thing, like every week, and maybe even get somebody else in as a guest. So there's like 3 of us in there as well. If anybody would like to see like 3 of us in there as well and do this as a regular thing, put it in the comments, because basically we're just sitting around just having a laugh and just talking about madness. But yeah, the question that could get the live stream took down because it's so current, and I knew it was going to come up. I was trying to avoid bringing it up myself, but I can't not put the question on the screen. But here it is.
That's it.
Here you go.
So what do you lads think about Prince Andrew? Do you think he's a sexual predator? Yeah, I think so. I don't know too much about all of this, but I don't know. What are your thoughts, man?
Mate. Right. Oh. The royal family themselves are a really fucked up breed. Mm-hmm. Allegedly, like there's allegedly, just for the law's sake, allegedly the royal family. I'm going to use the word allegedly a lot right now in this next section.
With Prince Andrew, it's with Epstein, right?
Epstein.
Yeah, so
they were best mates.
Yeah, so he's definitely fucked up, bro. If you're best friend,
100%, man.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
You've got mates. You've got very close friends. I've got very close friends. Nate on the screen right now has got very close friends. James Brown, Number 9 Talks, Chucky P. Everybody watching this stream right now has got close friends, and every single one of us all know our close friends' secrets. Mm-hmm. The things that
well, maybe some people have some secrets, and it is possible.
Oh no, I don't mean maybe not the deepest, darkest secrets.
I think, yeah, 2 super rich guys, they were doing fucked up shit together. That's why they were friends, because
yeah, exactly.
You need another rich friend to do fucked up shit with.
bro. At some point, Prince Andrew must have been sat around. Oh, this is why whoever answered this Nath Davis, you asked this question. Nath Davis, I'm going to speak to you after this show for asking this question. You shouldn't have asked it. You shouldn't have asked it because it's such a deep one, man. There is no way in the flipping world that the Prince Andrew was sat at a house party round Epstein's flipping crib, which he got there on an aeroplane called Lalita fucking Express or whatever it was called, right? There was no way in the world that at no point did Prince Andrew go, so then, Epstein, how'd you make your money? There was no way that question didn't come up at some point. How did you pay for all this?
Yeah.
Why is your plane called Lolita Express? There was no way that stuff did not come up, man. I am telling you.
It's sad, like, how fucked up the world we live in really is. You know what I mean? That's
So
why.
bad.
That's why I hate that. Like, there's these people like Jeff Bezos and shit that just have way too much money, and it just sits there.
Where did it come from?
What's he doing with it? Spend it on some shit, you know, give it to all the poor people. Then they'll spend it like money's supposed to circulate. When people just start hoarding it, it's like then it causes suffering, you know. We need like the money.
Bro, every time I leave my house, right? I live in a fucking ghetto area. Every time I leave my house, I feel like I've walked into a set of the Thriller video. You know, Michael Jackson.
yeah.
All them guys. I feel that's what. No joke. Yeah, there's a guy outside the local Tesco. I've seen him just before this live stream started. I went to go and get some cans of Coke to go with my whiskey. Yeah, and I've seen him out there, and the guy's spiced out of his nut. You know, he's got no money. He's not had a pork pie or a sausage roll for at least like a week and a half. He's had nothing to eat. How the fuck are Bezos and fucking these people having all this money, and yet there's people on the street with all these problems like drug addictions, homelessness and stuff? Why cannot the world just get split round? Obviously, I know the answer to that is power and greed. I know the answer to that.
And I don't want it like to be everyone perfectly equal, but you gotta take care of the poor for sure. Like it's like and these people that are the spectrum shouldn't be like that crazy. You know, we should all like you should be able to strive to do better and, you know, get that bigger house and work harder if you want that and like make that business or whatever. But like when it gets too big and like too powerful, like those guys should just like, I don't know, man. I like kind of what Elon Musk is doing in the sense that like he's actually like trying to get goals done. We know what his goals are. He wants to get to Mars. He wants to dig a giant tunnel under LA. He wants to fucking implant our brains with chips. You know, Jeff Bezos is even richer than him. I don't know what he wants to do. Like, why doesn't he like fucking?
He's not got the same. Same mentality as Musk. Musk is. I think we discussed him on the last one. We didn't go into a lot of detail with him, and his name's come up all throughout this episode that we're talking through now for a good reason. Like personally, I think he's a good man. You know.
Yeah, me too. I feel we're so lucky, and he's like one of the few people with tons of money that isn't doing fucked up shit.
Yeah, man. Musk is like some of the
or
things,
at least like doing nothing. Like why are there so many billionaires that they're like not? Like, fuck, $1 billion? That's so much, man.
Yeah, man. Did you ever go and watch that documentary that I told you to go and watch ages ago about John McAfee? Did you ever go and watch that?
I don't think I did, actually, no. What's it on or whatever? What can I watch it on? Because I pretty much have Netflix or YouTube, right?
I think it may be on Netflix. I think it may be on there. It's either there or Amazon.
Already
if you've got Amazon Prime, it's probably on there. Yeah, honestly, mate, this is a documentary that you need to go and watch. Basically, I'll go into it quickly now.
What's it called, though? Do you remember what it's called, or what's the guy's name again?
I can't remember what it was called, but the guy's name is John McAfee.
Okay.
John McAfee. It's MC. I can't remember the spelling. John McAfee. Anyway, he's the guy that do you know McAfee software, computer software, DVD flipping recording stuff, and virus software and all kinds of McAfee. It's called. It's McAfee Center or something like that. But basically, he runs all that. He owns that. He designed all that. And this guy, he earned all his money through the internet and computer software. Made an absolute fortune, millionaire, billionaire. But he got bored. He got bored of being that computer guy that just goes into an office every day. So he went to, I think it was somewhere like Mexico, and he just went, fuck it, I'm just going to buy myself some drug dealers, and I'm just going to start my own little cartel. And he built his own little army. This little internet geek that owns the fucking internet software, he built his own little army. There was murders, there was drugs, there was all kinds of stuff going on. The media were on him, there was the police were on him, and all sorts. And he smashed it. He ended up, I think he killed a woman. And then he murdered the dog. Like, he killed a woman and the dog.
Wow.
And all of this is known. All of this is known, but they couldn't link it. Like, they couldn't prove it, but they knew it. Mm-hmm. You know, like 9/11, basically. Well, we all know what happened. We all know what happened.
You didn't have to go that extreme. It's like one person and a dog compared to like thousands.
Yeah, no. It was a huge jump. It was a huge jump, but the thing was, it was the same in there. But yeah, he's one of those guys, like, you know, we're just on about a moment ago. He's one of those guys with so much money, like Bezos. We just don't know what they're up to. Like McAfee, for like 2-3 years, he disappeared and nobody knew. And it turns out he was running a cartel. You know, like.
Yeah, that's why I would love to see like smaller, self-sustaining communities. You know what I mean? Because then, like, even if you have someone in charge, they're only in charge of like fucking couple thousand people or whatever. You know, it'd be super, or like whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know what the perfect number is, but it sucks to even see like the whole world buys Coke. Like, you got a can of Coke right there. I can go anywhere, any store, get a can of Coke. I hate that, man. Like, I don't want that one business. The guy who fucking owns Coke is probably a sick fuck too. You know what I mean? We don't know what that guy's doing, and they make so much money, and it's like,
bro, Coca-Cola managed to turn fucking Santa Claus from green to red. If you can change what, that's true. That's true.
Wow.
That's true. Santa Claus is meant to be, Saint Nicholas is green. And Santa Claus, Coca-Cola, years and years and years and years ago, needed a flipping an advertising marketing campaign.
Yeah.
So they stole Santa
Claus forever and like
stuck him in a red suit.
Yeah.
And since that moment, it became red. And now, if you ask a kid, any kid, if I ask my kids what color is Santa, they'll go, he's red suit with a white beard.
I would say that too. Yeah, even our parents would say that probably, right? That's so crazy, man.
That's it. Yeah, that's fact, man. But James Brad's put, is David Icke listed in?
I love that comment. That's so funny.
And the fact that it's James Brown that's asked it as well. I think James Brown was on my last stream as well. So yeah, shout out to James Brown, man. Fucking thank you very much for joining in. But yeah, do you know what? I hope David Icke is listening. He's a bit of a mad one, like David Icke. But yeah, we've got Ted looking like he had an argument with a Cyberman and lost. The other fella looking like he stepped out of a future portal. Any chance of telling me the future? Have you got the lottery numbers?
Thanks, man. I look like I'm for the future. I don't think so.
Bro, I've done a bottle of whiskey on live streams tonight. Over the 2 live streams, I've done most of a bottle of whiskey.
Man, the smart thing to do with lottery is to actually not buy lottery tickets at all.
That's my route. I don't play the lottery.
Yeah.
However, I do a lot of scratch cards, but I don't buy the actual lottery numbers.
He is an alien. Yeah, I definitely think it's possible that we're all actually descendants of aliens. We've talked about this before. It would be definitely super interesting, right? I would love to see other life in the universe. It's almost sad in a way that we haven't come across any. Well, like what the government say exactly. Is Chucky P an alien? He looks like an alien.
That picture is actually Chucky from the movies.
Yeah, but he's got like McDonald's on his forehead or something.
Chucky P. You'd need to add him on Facebook, man. Your life will be so much better for adding Chucky P on Facebook.
Get him on the podcast.
Yeah. Can get him on the podcast. Yo, Chucky, there you go. Fucking join the podcast, mate. He was in a group chat with him at some point. Chucky P. We was all in a group chat together. Chucky P is like, he's a rapper. He's a battle rapper, or he used to be a battle rapper. He's done a few battles. Chucky P, he is like the greatest battle rap troll that he's ever, like, he got shouted out on King of the Dot and all sorts. Chucky P did. Man like Chuck. At some event, everybody was on the live streams and everybody in the battles was shouting man like Chuck because he'd just been trolling someone that day. I think Mickey Worthless was battling at King of the Dot that day as well.
Damn, that's wild. Fuck, man.
He's a good lad, but yeah, get him on the on the show 100%, man. He'll be a great guest for you. He's people know he is like in the UK battle scene. Mrs. Nine talks. She's still here as well. She's saying it's been great, guys. Really enjoying it. Thank you very much for sticking around.
Yeah.
The viewers have actually gone up while we've been here. So, like, whoever's viewing,
thank you very much. More questions, and then I gotta go though.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. That's cool. I think you said like hour and 45 minutes was like the cutoff. So we're at an hour and 18. So we're not far from that. So we're not far from finishing, guys. Like, if anybody's got a couple more questions, like, drop them into the don't drop them into the croissants. I don't know anything about croissants.
They're fucking delicious, bro.
Wait, why am I thinking about? There's no conspiracy around croissants, surely. There's no conspiracy around there.
There's gotta be conspiracies about everything. The conspiracy is that the French is trying to force us all to learn French instead of English, so they won't make an English word for croissant.
No, that could be it as well. Like, but the thing is, it's such a perfect word. Like, whenever I heard the word croissant, it takes me back to.
But it sounds the same in French and in English. Most words sound different in different languages.
The thing is, you're Canadian, so you probably get a lot of croissants over there. Is it a popular thing in Canada? Is it?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, they're good. I like them.
Like,
I mean, you get them anywhere, like grocery stores and shit. I feel like that's everywhere though. Like US too probably has croissants. You want
like how French is Canada? Because I don't really know. I've never been to Canada. I've been to America.
Oh yeah, it's a little French. Yeah, I want to say it's like 10% French or something. That's just a guess, though. I have no idea. But there's like Quebec, right? Like Quebec is a province. It's all French people pretty much. But then there's like also little like communities. Like say like we have a city here like Welland, which is in the Niagara region of Ontario that is like a lot of French people in Welland. So it's like, I'm assuming there's just like little pockets everywhere, right?
I think it's a bit like UK. Thing is, what a lot of people in the UK don't realise, because in the UK there's a lot of racist people. Like, not myself, I'm not racist. Like, I get on with everybody, but there is a lot of racist people in the UK, and they slag off foreigners and blah blah blah, but they don't realise, but they spend half of the day talking French because the English language has got so much French in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a lot of words have come from French. So
yeah, that's why a lot of the words sound like exactly the same. You just say them in like that different accent, right? Like the word train, or if in French it would be like train or something, right? I don't know how they say it exactly, but it's spelled the same and everything, right? And it's like a lot of words like that. That's why it's funny. Like you hear people talk French every once in a while, they'll kind of blurt out like a little bit of English sometimes, or like an English word or two, because it's kind of like the same with us saying like croissant. Last questions, guys. Yeah, oh, that's you. Somebody else commented that.
No, that was me. I've just chucked that one in. If anybody's got last couple of questions, that's it. But yeah, one thing, like, I do want to just quickly go into it. Just if anybody's got any last questions there, just throw them into the comments and I'll chuck them up. But quickly, one thing which was like, it was the thumbnail of. I can see you yawning there as well. I can see you yawning.
Sorry, but
you can just see Billy Bong there calling your name, can't you? You just like, bloody hell. But yeah, like it was the thumbnail of the thing, like Elon Musk, The Simpsons. I've asked so many people this question over the last couple of weeks.
That was such a good thumbnail. I love it. It's so funny, bro.
Oh, mate, it was amazing. That I'm gonna stick with that thumbnail, man. I'm gonna stick with it. You're staying in the thumbnail, even if you're not on the show at some point. You're staying in that thumbnail. But yeah, Elon Musk and the creator of The Simpsons. Do you think that either of them or both of them are time travelers or aliens?
Interesting. No, I don't think that. I think with The Simpsons, it's like they make so much shit that doesn't happen. They've made so many episodes. They have predicted a lot of stuff, which is really cool. But I mean, also it's like with some of the stuff, I don't know, it's crazy. Like they have, it is just really crazy. But I mean, truth is stranger than fiction, right? Everything out there is wild. Like fucking even that shit with like separating twins at birth and then they grow up to each be like exactly the same and they've never even like talked to each other.
Yeah, and they're telepathic. You know, they've got the same
Yeah,
thoughts.
so that shit like blows my mind. All this like there's always constantly shit blowing my mind and it's like ignorance is bliss is like it's actually true, you know? Sometimes you just gotta relax, take a step back and like only worry about the things that affect your life directly, you know? So like yeah, there's like crazy pedophiles out there like Epstein and like the Prince and fucked up shit and there's fucked up billionaires out there doing weird ass shit. But I can't change that, you know, and what you can change and maybe it's like help the people around you. It's like and then maybe one day you'll be a billionaire. Maybe we'll both be billionaires.
But
Maybe
do you think if you became a billionaire, like, let me just ask you this, Sab, like, if you, let's say your channel tomorrow, Sab Powers podcast, which anybody who's watching now, before you go, let me just say good night to Number 9 Talks because he's got to go. Good night. Thank you very much, Number 9 Talks. Honestly, you've been great tonight. And I'll probably speak to you tomorrow anyway. And we're in a group chat and that anyway. So, yeah, thanks for watching. But please go and subscribe to the Sab Powers podcast before you do go. And go and watch some of his old shows. He's a good lad. Like, I love this guy to bits. He's a slam lad. So yeah, go subscribe to that. But yeah, quick question for you though, Sab. Like, if you became a millionaire tomorrow, say your channel, you woke up tomorrow morning and you had like 50 million subscribers, and your channel was making 100 grand a day. How is it going to change you? Would you become one of the, say you had the same money as the elite, you know, 12 months from now, you've got 10 billion pounds in your account.
Yeah.
Are you going to become one of the elite? Are you going to start mixing with the elite? Are you going to start thinking like them? Or are you going to be Sab Powers still and stay grounded and just have all this money that you know that you're going to take to the grave? And you're going to, because if you had all that money, and this is the way that I think, if you had all that money, you'd go to your grave not regretting the things that you didn't do in life, but you'd go to the grave not spending the money that you had, and you would just constantly think there's more you could do. And this is why I think the elite do some crazy stuff, because they just run out of shit to do.
But I mean, that no one has run out of shit to do because no one's actually solved any of the world's like biggest problems, right? So I would hopefully, who knows? Like, I don't know what would happen. Like, I mean, like, because I've never gone through it, but I would like to think that I would. What this guy said? What are many things I've had on The Simpsons? Yeah, a lot of things. You can look up videos about it. Yeah, I would like to think that I would do a lot of stuff that I was talking about. Like, I would spend the money like you said, like what's the point of having billions of dollars just to be a billionaire, like, right? And I do know that they do spend tons and tons of money, obviously, but like I would try to do like basically things I like. It is so sad to me to see people suffering and like children suffering so bad all around the world, like, and it's like third world countries, but it's here too in like Canada, and I'm sure you guys have problems there too, right? Where it's like,
yeah, man,
and it's like I see people like you do see good stories out there, but there's not enough of these good stories. Like people like Akon, right? Akon's someone rich. Like, yeah, he's not like super smart like Elon Musk or anything, but he actually helped change the world in a better way, right? He gave electricity to like a shitload of people in Africa. So
gave him water.
Yeah, so you could just do something good, right? And it's like if you have money, like, in a way it's almost selfish to do good things because doesn't it feel good? You know what I mean? Like doing all this evil shit, like that probably doesn't feel good. Like, you know that expression, like how do you sleep at night? It's like how do they sleep at night? You know, that's why Epstein like probably did kill himself. Like maybe he was forced to or whatever, but like once you're faced with all the fucked up shit you did, you know, like they can't be happy, man. Like I'd rather, you know, do good with that. Wouldn't that feel so good? I don't know. What do you think?
It's, when you said there about Epstein coming, you know, he was forced to think of all the fucked up shit that he did.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me think about religion. And I am atheist, right? To anybody that's watching now, I'm completely atheist. But at the same time, as I've got older, I've started to question, like, is there maybe not God and Jesus as you think about it, but you know, is there something else after we're gone? You know, as you said before, do we turn into could you be Charlie Chaplin, like in
Right.
you know, once you've died? Do you turn into something else? And how you've lived your life determines what you become. So, say you have powers, you live your life good. You know, maybe you've done some bad things in your life. I've definitely done some bad things in my life that I'm not proud of. Everyone's got stuff they're not proud of that
Right.
if they believed in heaven and hell, they'd think, I'm not getting to heaven for that.
Mhm.
But, you know, like at some point in your life, do you sit there and think to yourself, because recently I have done, like, and I've thought maybe I should change the way that I'm living just in case, you know? So I was forced, as you've just said a moment ago, which led me to this thing, I was forced to think, like, you know, about all the crazy shit that I've done in my life, you know, where I'm going to go and how can I change it, and how can I, if there is a God and a heaven, how can I make sure I get there? You know, so I mean, like, how do you feel about that? Do you?
Well, I mean,
Not the word religion as such. The word religion is a heavy word. It is a heavy word because as soon as you start thinking of religion, you start thinking of magic and, you know, this mad thing in the sky and blah. But just if you imagine religion to be something else, just a next phase.
yeah, fuck, man. It's definitely like there is so much we can't see and can't feel that could be going on right now, right? Like there's like radio waves and microwaves and all these different fucking things. Oh, sick. Nine talks up to me. Thanks, bro. Um, so yeah, of course it makes sense if there's other shit that we don't know that's going on, and like there does, to me at least, feel like I have like a soul behind the eyes that could possibly, like, I don't know, like if it's not me, it's not me, right? So it's like I feel like once I'm dead, I'm just dead, bro. And that's like part of the beautifulness of life is that you don't get anything else. Once you're dead, you're fucking gone. So you better, the shit you want to get done, you better do it. And if you want to do evil shit, make the world a shittier place, then do it. But you know what I mean? Like I guess the world needs catfish, right? But like fucking, I don't know, that's just not the role I want to play, you know? And it's like I want to like fucking just like everyone should try to like leave the world better off than you found it, right? It's like cuz you only get like this what, like 100 years or whatever, but we're so affected by all these people that came before us that got their 100 years, you know? And even like since Jesus it's been 2000 years. So it's like 20 sets of fucking grandmas or whatever, right? So 20 grandmas later from Jesus, or 22 grandmas later now. All right, right? So since it's or no,
Going back that 22 grandmas, right?
no,
That's
20, yeah, 20 grandmas, yeah.
But them 20 grandmas, do you think that you've got? I mean, it's impossible to know. It is impossible because 20 grandmas don't sound like a lot, but you know when you work that
Yeah,
out
it's
in
20
history, it's
lives
a
away.
fucking
You know,
lot.
that's what it means. Yeah, so we only get that one
Yeah,
little short thing, and then it's
but
gonna get.
do you think you've got any likenesses to your 20th grandma away? Do you think
Oh,
there's any traits still
yeah,
there?
for sure. Like even you can see it so much between people and their parents, right? Especially like like I don't really see it as much with my parents because I'm around them all the time, so I notice little like, differences and stuff. But if you were to see my dad or my mom, you'd be like, oh yeah, that looks like Sab's mom or dad, right? So it's like, you know, it's like fucking like that's like with the Genghis Khan shit. Like how long ago was Genghis Khan? His DNA is in like a third of people or some
Yeah,
bullshit.
the
So
Genghis Khan
like,
is
you're my
good like
father,
in
bro.
most.
We're like way back. We're like somehow related. You know what I mean?
Bro, can I just say something? Yeah, and I
Yeah.
see it in this. I've noticed it earlier. You're on about Genghis Khan, right? Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
What you just said there, like Genghis Khan. Anybody that's watching the stream and doesn't know what we're talking about, it is the bloodline of Genghis Khan. Basically, he shagged that many birds, right?
Yeah.
During he shagged so many birds during his fucking career that he is now his blood is in a third of us, which means that
I want to look
right
that up to
now,
make
we've got
that.
Mrs. Nine Talks, we've got Nath Davis, number 9 Talks, we've got Steve Bruce, who, by the way, is said Marcus Rashford. You probably saw that and didn't know what he's on about. Football player over here, absolute arsehole. He's definitely an inbred Marcus Rashford, 100%. But all of his
Okay, so it's not a third of us. I went way too high with the percent, but it's
is
still
it a fifth or something?
0.5% of men in the world.
That's
So
a lot of
less than it's half of 1%, but it's still a shitload for one person to spread their DNA that much, and he was alive.
Bro, there's a good chance that somebody that
Just
you went to
1,000
school
years
with,
ago, right? So it was only, or maybe that's BC, but I don't know. But no, I don't think so. So yeah, it was like just like less than 1,000 years ago, and he
and to
spread it that much.
and it was just Mongolia as well. Like, imagine
Yeah.
if it was the ruler of like China or America or something like that. How far his seed would have spread? Every one of us would look the same. But
Yeah,
what
but
I was saying a moment ago is like,
I like it's better if it's a mix between different people. The Genghis Khan was kind of being a dick, spreading his seed everywhere. Like, what?
yeah.
We got these
Do you know
Genghis
what?
Khan assholes everywhere. Every asshole I mean, like, you probably got some Genghis Khan in you, you sick fuck.
Wait, look at my eyes. Look at my eyes. I'm only like 2 generations away, I swear, from like Genghis Khan. Like, my eyes, when I was growing up all the way through school, people always used to say to me, you know, is it your mum or your dad that's Chinese? I'd be like, no, it's neither one of them. It's neither one of them. I'm convinced during the war, like during the First or the Second World War, probably the second, my nana and one of the Chinese soldiers, I'm convinced something went down, man. Convinced of it, because there's 100% Chinese in the family somewhere.
Sure.
But yeah, we've got another one here as well. Nath Davis, thank you very much for still being on the stream. Nath Davis is another sound lad as well. He's a Newcastle fan. He's a good lad, man. I talk to him most days. He's sub to your channels as well. So yeah, Nath, go and check out some of his stuff. There's another podcast that we've done together as well a while ago. I think I've shared it somewhere in the last couple of days, but go check that out. We do a lot of discussion on there as well. So we're gonna do more of these. We're gonna do more of these, 100%, man.
Shit, bro. And we've just been like touching on everything. We didn't really dive deep into anything too hard. Which so now in the future we can like dive really deep into some subjects and like actually. But it is fun because it's so like, I don't know, man. The world is just such a crazy place. Like, it's so baffling. Like, I'm just constantly like, even just like looking up at the stars and then like knowing that like it takes like millions of years and shit for like light to even get here. That's how far away they are. It's like that is like everything's like mind blowing. You know, it's like,
when you said about the stars, right? You know, when you look up at a star, this is what blows my mind. When you look at a star and you see its light shining, what you got to realize about that star is you're witnessing an exploding star. It's not even just a planet that's just sitting. You're witnessing
no,
it.
not necessarily. It could be, yeah. It could have been dead for billions of years or whatever. Also, but
oh no, they are. When we see it, they're long dead. But by the time we see it, that shit was out of existence billions of years ago. We're seeing the light from that just coming to Earth.
Not always, not every time, bro.
It is, bro. It is.
I can look this up right now.
It's all your bright stars. It's exploding stars.
Okay.
Or dying stars. That's probably the better word to use. When you see a star, it's a dying star.
Okay, yeah, it says it's wrong. Yeah, that's a myth, bro.
A myth. Oh,
yeah,
I've been done over here by fucking
says,
David Icke's done me over.
No matter how you look at it, the idea of that all or even most or even a lot of the stars you can see in the sky are already dead is simply wrong. That's like what I typed in, are all stars dead? So
what is the fact? If I'm wrong, educate me on it, because like I don't want to go through. Obviously, this is on a live video now, so yeah, whatever the truth is,
They
like
live so long, right? Like our sun is a star, bro. So like what you're seeing are suns, right? So like it's shooting out light all the fucking time. You know what I mean? And our sun eventually like gets, I think it like once it starts to die or whatever, it becomes like really big and it turns into a red sun. So you got like all types of different stars out there. So they're like the planets is what we can't see. But we can see like Mars and shit because it's like the reflection of the sun, right? That's why we see the moon and shit too.
And Mars has got big recently. Like, have you seen how big Mars has got? And Venus. It seems like we're getting closer to all the planets. Even the moon looks bigger these days.
Yeah, so it says like when you're looking at the stars, you're actually looking into the past. Many of the stars we see at night have already died, but like not even close to like most or all of them. You know what I mean? It's like because stars live for so long, a lot of them are just chilling like our sun is right now. You know?
Is our sun chilling now though, or is it dying?
Pardon?
Is our sun, is it chilling now though, or is our sun dying?
Well, everything's always dying all the time slowly, but our sun is like super young compared to like what suns can become. Like I said, they become like giant and red and shit.
Start glowing at that. You got the Google up there, yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing what the life cycle is of a sun. Because I want to see. So, yeah, I wonder where ours is at. Yeah, and they go billions of years, right? So it's like they seem to last, I guess, like 11 billion years before they explode. That's pretty crazy.
We're not dying any time yet.
So people have more than $11 billion, right? Does someone have $11 billion?
Yeah,
so imagine having more dollars than time and it exists for a sun in years.
And what are they going to do with that money?
The sun could exist. That's too much money, man.
What can you literally do with all that money? You know, if I had that money
a day for fucking the whole lifespan of a sun, dude. Like,
I like to think that I'd stay under control and I wouldn't go mad with it. But honestly, man, do you know what? I think I'd probably lose the plot. And I'm not saying I'd do an Epstein and Prince Andrew, because that's, you've got to be some way inclined to do that shit in the first place. But I'd probably do an Elon Musk and start trying to get to some other planets and other shit.
Actual cool shit. Interesting.
Yeah, actual, like you said before, building underground. You know, the tunnels that he's building underground. Like, it's a great idea, man.
Yeah. And the Teslas and everything. He's doing all types of cool shit. And like the solar panels on the roofs, instead of shingles, he's got like these weird like solar panel shingles. But I've seen like all these ideas that he thought were gonna get like implemented by like 2020. You know, like I've been following Elon for a while. And it just sucks that he's like saying shit's gonna happen by a certain year, and then it's never even close to that. You know what I mean? Like he said we were already gonna be like fucking on Mars by now, right? I think he said on Mars by 2020. I don't know if that's true, but
no, I think it was 2022. He was gonna have people on Mars, but only like visiting the moon, so that we were going to land on the Mars, get back on the ship, and then come back to Earth. But I think he wants people on Mars.
He wants like a one-way trip too, which would be sick. If people are down, send him.
Yeah, he wants to go. Yeah, he wants to die on Mars. He wants to take a colony, and he wants to die on Mars. But can you imagine when Elon Musk goes, he will be like the creator. Elon Musk will be like
the god of Mars. He'll be like Mars Jesus.
That's exactly what he'll do, man.
They're gonna start like religion, and people are gonna start like developing like weird fucking Mars things, and they're gonna look different than the people here. And then there's gonna be like people traveling back and forth, and we're gonna have like all types of new shit. And then there's gonna be some weird racism between planets, and they're like, "Oh, I don't like those people from Mars for some reason." And then like,
instead of like. I'm not mates with that three-eyed bastard. I'm not mates with that three-headed bastard.
Yeah,
I can't stand these three heads. Like, I can't stand.
Yeah, three-eyed girls would be hot though, man. That'd be cool.
Bro, your missus has got 7 tits. That's what it is.
Those Mars chicks are banging.
Your mom's got 5 kneecaps.
5 kneecaps. Yeah, battle rap is gonna get crazy.
Yo, mate, when I got to battle the little old lady, I thought I'd like gone into heaven. Like,
Yeah.
to battle a woman at 62 years old, it's a whole new angle. But yeah, to battle someone not even from Earth, it just opens up a whole new world of stuff, man.
All right, I gotta fucking get out of here. I gotta make it to that show.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you've got another show now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, promote it. Are you doing it live or is it recorded?
No, it's live, so it's on the internet or anything. So it's in St. Catharines, Ontario. If anyone is from Canada, Ontario. I mean, I dare anyone watching this. But yeah, I'm not even going up. I just need to be there because I did a podcast with Ryan Schneider, and he gave me a USB to put the podcast on so we can cut it up and stuff and put it on his channel. It's the last podcast I did, so I got to bring that back and get it to him.
Yeah.
But I might get on the show too because I've been doing that show every Thursday, which is sick. But I mean,
take any opportunity that you get right now to perform. Just take it because you don't know how long it's gonna last, man.
True, yeah, man. It sucks that for some reason I thought that you guys weren't in lockdown. So you got you got in lockdown, then everything started reopening again, and then you did a second lockdown.
I think we had about 2 months, something like that, of stuff being kind of semi-open. But I think, as you know, myself and another lad, we run a comedy platform. We put on open nights all over the place, and we had a few pro nights as well. We had proper, professional comedians that you can see all over the internet and TV or whatever.
Oh, dope.
So that was happening, and then COVID just kind of put paid to all of that. Just ended the whole thing. Just ended it all. Mm-hmm. So yeah, comedy at the minute in England, it's just we had that 2-month period where stuff was opened. But for me personally, and myself, Mike, I spoke to him, and we just decided for that, because we knew that we was going to go back into a second lockdown. We knew it was going to happen. Mm-hmm. And during the time we knew that the restrictions is, people were sitting with 5 seats between them. We're going to pay, because we still got to pay the same money to book a pro comedian, because they don't drop the money just because there's coronavirus going on.
Yeah.
So we can book these people, but we can only get a third of the people in the room. So there's no chance of making that money back. I love comedy. I love going to comedy nights, love going to them. But I'm not about to spend 300 quid, £300 to make back 150 to go to a comedy night. That's £150 lost. I may as well just go and watch a comedy night myself that somebody else has put on. So yeah, we just decided there was no point during that time. When coronavirus is done and there's a vaccine, we're going to have a big event. We're going to put loads into it and smash straight back into it again. But right now, there's just no point in spending that money. It's hence why we do YouTube.
For us here, it's there was the one lockdown, and then stuff started opening up again, and then we haven't had a second lockdown. But a lot of people are saying that we're gonna get one, which sucks.
Yeah, it'll happen at some point. Hopefully it don't. I really hope for your sake that it don't, because it.
Yeah, but it will. It's the numbers are going up. I looked at it, just even on Ontario, right? I go to Ontario, COVID, and then you get this graph, and it's the numbers. It's worse now than it was ever for corona cases. It's never been. Yeah, for Ontario or Canada, actually, it says.
By the time we went into the second lockdown, our numbers were twice as bad as they were the first time when they put us into lockdown.
Worldwide, also, it's worldwide, it's just way worse now than it ever was, pretty much. Except actually, the last couple of days it's been going down, but over the gradual time since March, it's so funny because before March there was no cases at all.
It's mad the way that it's jumped up. It was crazy, man. Hopefully it's over soon. Hopefully this virus, this vaccine that they've got, hopefully it does work.
It's half people every day right now. That's so crazy.
So. But a lot of the people that are getting it, they're not getting any symptoms or anything like that. So, who knows what's going off at the minute? Who
Right.
knows?
We all might already have it. Huh.
Yeah, that's it. Because there's so many people not getting tested that have probably got it, just haven't got the symptoms for it. All the kids ain't getting symptoms for it. They haven't got a clue. That's why they're the ones that's spreading it, them and students. Because they have not got a clue they've got it and they're just passing it on to everybody else. That's insane. But, anyway, I'm going to call that an end there for the podcast because I'm going to be honest with you. I really, really need to go and piss, like really bad.
Yeah, I gotta go too, man. I'm gonna be ready.
But yo, thank you very much for coming on tonight, man, and thank you for everybody that's in the comments as well. Nath, Steve, Bruce, Number 9 Talks, Number 9 Talks misses as well. Yeah, thank you very much, everybody that's in the comments, and thank you very much, Sab, coming on. Anybody that's still here, there's still 4 people watching, so yeah, you people, please go to Sab's channel, hit subscribe, and go and watch some of his old podcast back, because honestly, he's a good lad. His podcasts are great. So yeah, we're gonna do this regular thing if you're up for it. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
We don't even have to have a set day. We can literally do whatever day is good with any of us, and I'll let people know on the day.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's good, man.
All
That's
right,
good.
sick.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on then.
Yeah, bro. You're the man. Fucking love you, buddy.
Yeah, man. Love you too, man. It's been good.
Good trip.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Catch you later, man. I had to get that little burp in and right.
Yeah.
Just as I was about to press the button, I thought
I was hoping you edited it right after I did that, but you didn't.
Yeah, that's right. No. I've highlighted it and everything, so everyone knows. Everyone knows. Go comment on all of Sab videos that he burps too much. Man. All right, peace out, man.
Peace out, bro.